Today, I want to talk about the exciting new characters coming in the Nod Krai patches. Specifically, two male characters have caught the community's attention, Durin and Varka. As always, nothing is confirmed until Hoyoverse drops the official announcements, but the information we've gotten paints a picture of some game-changing additions in the future. These leaks, though still tentative, give us a lot to look forward to as we dive deeper into the lore and mechanics of Durin and Varka. Let's begin with Durin, because this is the name that has the entire community buzzing right now. According to the latest leaks, Durin is framed as a 5-star Pyro character who doesn't just apply Pyro off-field in a way that rivals Xiangling, but supposedly does it even more effectively. That's already a huge claim, because Xiangling has been one of the most consistent and widely used Pyro applicators in the entire game since launch. If Durin is really delivering faster, stronger, or more consistent Pyro application than her, it would immediately put him in the spotlight as a top-tier character. But the hype doesn't stop there. The same leaks claim that Durin also brings resistance shredding to the table, not just for Pyro, but for Hydro and even Anemo as well. That combination is almost unheard of. To break it down, Pyro resistance shred makes Pyro carries like Mavuka, Arlecchino, or even future Pyro characters hit much harder. Hydro resistance shred massively boosts characters like Neuvillette. And then there's a Nemo shred, which could supercharge damage from units like Xiao or Wanderer. Having one character who can enable all of these elements at once would instantly make Durin one of the most valuable support or sub-DPS units ever released in Genshin. Now, we do need to keep our heads here. Every few months we hear about some big Xiangling or big Bennett character in the leaks, and usually the hype cools down once the beta numbers are actually revealed. Many times, these characters sound absolutely broken on paper, but by release, they're tuned down for balance. Still, even with that cautious perspective, the idea of a Pyro unit that applies as consistently as Xiangling while also bringing multi-element resistance penetration is massive. That combination has the potential to reshape team building in a way we haven't seen since the earliest days of the national team. On top of all this, Durin appears to offer strong off-field utility. He's not a character that demands constant field time. Instead, he applies Pyro and enables reactions while allowing your main DPS to stay on the field. This off-field role is what made Xiangling so iconic, and Durin taking that formula even further, with resistance shred built in, could push him into meta-defining territory. Now, before we move on to Varka, it's worth bringing up the discussion around the 6.2 banners. Version 6.2 in particular is already sounding like a wild patch. Based on the current leaks, we might see Neuvillette returning in 6.2. But wait, it gets even better. There are rumors of a Venti rerun, and that's a big deal for anyone looking to boost their team's Anemo capabilities. On top of that, Escoffier might also be featured in this patch. Here's where it gets even more interesting. There are rumors of a Mondstadt Chronicle Wish Banner returning. This could be a big surprise, but as always, we'll have to wait for more official information, and I'll keep you updated as soon as any new details emerge. Now, let's talk about Varka, who's been one of the most highly anticipated characters in all of Genshin. He's been teased in the lore for years as the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and fans have been waiting to finally see him in playable form. The situation with Varka has been complicated recently because of conflicting leaks about whether he'd end up in the standard banner. Some leakers claimed that Varka was destined to be a standard banner 5-star, which understandably set off a wave of panic in the community. And honestly, this doesn't make any sense. Hoyoverse has never taken a long-hyped character with years of build-up in the lore and just tossed them into the standard pool. The standard banner is usually reserved for surprise additions or brand new characters who don't carry as much narrative weight. Think about how Tainery, Dihaya, or Mizuki joined. It wasn't after years of teasing and anticipation. Varka doesn't fit that mold at all. He has been part of Genshin's story since the very beginning, so the odds strongly favor him being a limited 5-star release. That matters because Varka's eventual arrival will almost certainly tie into Mondstadt's storyline in a meaningful way. He's the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, the figure we've heard about in letters, dialogue, and character voice lines since the earliest days. His return could advance Mondstadt's arc and finally deliver on years of buildup. With his position of power, his lore significance, and now the reassurance that he's likely going to be a limited unit, Varka's release looks set to be one of the most important events in the game's near future. So, when you zoom out, what we're looking at is a very ambitious stretch of characters. Durin potentially redefining Pyro support and sub-DPS roles with resistance shred and top-tier off-field utility, and Varka almost certainly releasing as a limited 5-star with heavy lore importance. To wrap things up, the future of Nod Krai looks incredibly promising. If these leaks hold true, we're in for a period that feels as cohesive and exciting as the early days of Mondstadt and Liyue, when every character release felt like it mattered both in the story and in the meta. The addition of characters like Durin, who can change the way we approach elemental reactions, and Varka, who brings decades of lore payoff, shows that Hoyoverse is still thinking about long-term design. As always, it's important to remember that nothing is guaranteed until Hoyoverse confirms it. But if these leaks are accurate, then the next few patches could be some of the most exciting ones we've seen in years. What do you think? Are you excited for Durin to finally bring a 5-star version of Xiangling's off-field Pyro with resistance shred? Do you buy into the clarification that Varka is destined for a limited banner instead of standard? And how do you feel about the way 6.2's banners are shaping up, especially if it means choosing carefully where your primo gems go? Let me know in the comments, because half the fun of leak season is seeing how the community reacts and debates before anything is officially confirmed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.
All right, now we're talking.